Oh, there's my buddy Nick.
What's up, everybody?
It says I'm subscribed.
Subscribed?
Okay.
I guess my YouTube's way behind here.
Feels like it's been forever since we've had a podcast, or at least a live one. You know?
Yeah, that's weird. How come? Am I watching the wrong thing?
What do you mean?
Live. Oh, there's
No,
us.
it's showing up.
It's weird. It was playing the thing from earlier, and I couldn't figure out why. Right. Anybody here? Who we got?
Just us.
We got
Just
Brett,
us,
we got
so
Matt, and we got
everybody's-
David.
Oops. Dang it. Everybody's watching the Apple thing. You know?
Oh, right.
They don't want to
I
watch
should probably
this,
have that on in the background, shouldn't I?
right?
This is just a watch party.
Right?
Kind of. I don't know. If we find out about some VR headset, we might have to like take a little.
I'll talk about it. I'll nerd about that.
You secretly know all about it, and you're gonna tell us all about it as soon as.
Yeah, I
noon
know
rolls around.
I know all the specs.
Yeah.
My dad works at Apple.
My
Dude, my dad owns a dealership.
so my kid the other day, he was like, "Yeah, I've got a friend whose dad works at Epic, you know, so he gets all the Fortnite skins for free." I'm like, dude, no, no.
What a flex. What a flex.
Dude, my dad owns a dealership.
When I was in elementary school, a kid told me, he's like, "Oh yeah, my uncle works at Nintendo. He can make video games and blah blah blah." And I was like, "No way!" So I designed an entire game on paper, you know, like a whole 9-level game, and I gave it to him. And then I kept on asking him about it over and over and over again, and finally he just said, "Yeah, my uncle doesn't work at Nintendo, but I have a lot of video games." It's like,
Oh my god.
you jerk!
Yeah, that was the
I
thing.
spent a lot
is,
of time on that video game.
That was the thing, is my dad works at Nintendo. He knows all the new games coming out and stuff like that.
So stupid.
All
I
right,
didn't
I
put
guess
the
more
bat
folks
signal
got-
out. I should put the bat signal out. Oh yeah, I have y'all beat with my friend from high school though. Let me tell you about him. Ooh wee. I mean, like the epitome of just absolute lying, right? Like just absolute. You know, I'd be like, "Hey, there's the 386 Pentium is coming out." He's like, "So my brother already has a 686 Pentium," and I'm like, "Okay."
That's funny.
And be like, and he goes to college and he has a password to the real internet. I'm like, oh, okay.
The real internet.
Real
I mean, he would tell the most outlandish stories, and he rode around in this Ford Econoline van, not Econoline, the smaller minivan, and then he upgraded to a Sebring, a Chrysler Sebring, and he called it his sports car. And he'd open the hood, he'd be like, "I got Mopar parts in here." I'm like, "No, you don't. This is stock." And he would like rev the engine on it. It was ridiculous. I wonder what happened to that guy. He's not on Facebook. It's very
But I'd expect
weird.
him to be.
No, he's exactly where I expected him to be. The only trace of him I can find on the internet is all of his Mason stuff that he does now. It's very, very much him. That's his style. It makes perfect sense.
It's weird.
Oh my gosh, that guy! I could tell you stories for days.
Train it, chase it, code it.
He tried to tell me he couldn't give me a jump once because he had a 24-volt battery in his Sebring. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. And then he takes it and he attaches the leads to my battery, and he takes the other two leads and he goes like that, and they spark, and all of my like gauges in my car start flipping like this. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh my god. It's dangerous.
It's It's got Mopar parts. Cool story, bro. Oh, man.
I'm gonna
All right.
if I ever make plugins for C40 or anything, I'll just call them Moparts.
I
Moparts.
like that.
Yeah, Mellow Moparts.
.com.
Yeah.
Let's get into the show.
Let's do a show. How about that?
Let's
This
just
is going to
right
get
into
interrupted
it.
a whole bunch of times.
By
I'm sure.
Apple. Yeah. Should we just put them in the corner? You know?
That would be hilarious.
We'll just-
You could. I'm sure you could.
be funny. I just do the screen or whatever, and I just like we're just having a regular show down here, but
Right.
like the Apple. I should have it on standby though, in case something does come up. All right,
You should.
I will do that.
Might as well.
Might as well. You know we're gonna want to check it out.
WWDC.
Today they're going to make some of the biggest announcements ever, he says.
I gotta mute this so that I don't get brought down by the powers that be. I'm gonna put this on a little window over here so I can just kind of see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll probably get
I'm
taken
curious if
down
they're
off
gonna,
of
if they're
YouTube
gonna
if we do
a
this.
new Mac Studio.
Oh boy,
considering
can't show
I'm
that.
Still paying for mine.
Did you send me that TikTok or did I send it to you?
Which one?
The one talking about the Mac Pro trash cans that they're still selling for
Yes.
$5,000,
For
but if you
$5,000.
try and do a
And they'll-
trade-in, they
Yeah.
won't give you any money for it. They'll say they're
Yeah.
going to recycle it.
Yeah.
That's pretty sus.
Very sus.
That's
Super sus.
suspicious. All right.
Is
I
it
got
really?
that up
Blender
over-
4.0
Wait, really?
is out?
Forget Apple. Let's check
Oh
out
wait, it's
Blender.
free though? Oh, they made it free?
Oh, yeah. Alpha
No.
is here.
Oh, the alpha.
Is it really?
Okay.
Ah.
Oh, the
I thought it was like
alpha.
the release.
No.
Oh, that was 2 weeks ago, though.
Yeah.
Wait, so it's... Hold on. Let's go to...
It's new to me. All right. Well, I do have it up here in case something life-changing happens. In case I need to get on the internet and make a purchase.
Indeed.
Well, you know they won't be available for like a year.
What? The
These
goggles?
headsets, and then nobody will be able to get a hold of them, and
Yeah.
you know all of that. All right. Let's do a show. Y'all ready?
Let's do it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. What's up, and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt. Joining us today is the mellowest of Mographers, Mr. David Mellor.
What's up, guys?
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us, info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show, questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, artist suggestions, so topic ideas. Check us out on mograph.com, youtube.com/mograph. And if you want to get the info on the live shows, which isn't a lot right now, you can go to mograph.com/live, where we'll show the shows that are coming up soon. We are currently trying to start scheduling some more people to do the live shows because we have been on tour, and we've got a couple weeks here of not touring, so I need to get that worked out.
Gotten a bunch of feedback saying people really like the panels at all
Yeah,
the different
the
dates
comments
and
and
stuff.
stuff.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I tuned to a couple. They were fun.
Yeah, it's great to meet local artists around the country. It's great to hear their takes on certain things, and it's interesting to see in different cities how the topics kind of go different directions too. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to catch up on because it has been how long since we've done a show?
It's been a few weeks. Yeah, we had a
so-
holiday and we've had the tour and stuff like that.
Yeah. So we're gonna dig in because we got a bunch of stuff to catch up on. Our week wrap up might be a little longer than usual here, so bear with us for a second. And the Dallas, Denver, Philly tours are over. We did a week off. We did for the holiday on Monday, so we're back. And then next week's show is going to be another live show from the tour. That's going to be DAT Nashville on Sunday. You'll probably get that on the audio feed that week, and I have to drive home before I can post it. I'm driving to that one. But, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to listen. If you're in Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
or you want to go to Nashville this Sunday, just announcing for the first time, haven't put it on social media yet, Andrew Kramer will be there.
Ooh.
Andrew Kramer. So if you're in Nashville,
the flesh or in AI generated form.
In the flesh.
in the flesh, and I'll have his AI generated form on the website today or tomorrow, so you can check it out. Andrew Kramer is going to be there on the panel, and it's going to be awesome. We were kind of waiting to verify that before we announced it. So, Nashville peeps, this is your chance.
Yeah.
Come and see Andrew Kramer. It's going to be at Vanderbilt this Sunday. And I don't know, we've sold some tickets. It's not super packed yet. So if you really want a chance to meet Andrew Kramer and you haven't, this would probably be a good opportunity. And also, Seth Worley just confirmed he is going to join us as well, because he's a Nashvilleian. He's in the Nash Vegas, and he's going to be joining us as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, I think that's it as far as the tour goes. There are other dates coming. We are just working out our contracts with the venues before we can put those tickets up on sale.
Correct. Yeah.
So these are happening. I know it just says TBD, TBA, whatever on the website. Just bear with us. We had to do some rearranging. We had some cancellations. We had some venues that are just outrageously expensive, and we had to move them. So
15-inch MacBook Air. New announcement. Just letting you know.
From
Brett Lewis
$10.99.
said, Andrew Kramer, is that the guy from Seinfeld?
Close.
Yeah, 15. Wasn't there already a 15-inch MacBook?
No.
Or no?
This is
Not
the MacBook,
MacBook Air.
Yeah, they've always
The
been
MacBook
13-inch.
Air. Oh, that's nice.
And they've got a notch at the top, like the phones do, which I think is weird.
Does that mean they're bringing iOS to the...
I have no idea.
Yeah.
A notch?
Oh.
Yeah, like on the phone, how there's like
The
a
phone has
notch
the
up
notch.
there. Yeah.
The circular...
Stupid.
The capsule notch. It's only on the Macs right
Oh,
now. Apparently
boy.
they're bringing it to the other ones. So we'll
Oh,
see.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about Camp Mograph
Yes.
as well, because the camp portal's open.
Yes. So for those who have a ticket, make sure and check your email or sign up on our Discord and hit us up. I don't think we have it publicly. But if you go to campmograph.com/portal and then use the password that we sent out to everyone, you'll be able to check it out. It kind of gives you like just some real simple things like, the location of the camp, what you should probably bring. There's a little video that I did, which is silly. And then, just kind of the ins and outs. It'll help, especially people who haven't been to camp before, kind of give people a lay of the land and like what to expect,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this year, and I'm really excited about doing the tent camping this year because I am tent camping. And
Yep.
we went and visited a few weeks ago after the Denver one. I don't even know. Have we had a show since then? Since Denver?
I don't know if we have, honestly.
That's funny.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we went and visited the camp, and it was absolutely awesome. I'm so excited about it. For
This is the
those
first
who
time you were
are-
there.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it, New Max Studio. Anyway,
Oh, that's so funny.
I knew I should have held out. Anyway,
If they announce a new MacBook Pro, I'm gonna be mad.
yeah.
I doubt they will.
Anyway, so we went and checked out the camp. For those who are tent camping, they do have a few tent platforms, like actual wood platforms for people to camp on. It's a very small amount.
Well, if
only
it's
like
very
6 or 7. There's only like 6 or 7 of them. So, if you plan on coming to camp and you're tent camping and stuff and you want to try and snag one of those, I would recommend getting there, probably right around noon when we open. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I've been doing some research, as far as like different things. Like I've been looking up like small little power generators, power batteries, and like, like solar panels to like
Oh my
like
gosh.
super glamp it up, you know, just for
There you
fun.
go.
The solar panels, that would be awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Little folding solar panel.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the Anchor's got these really cool ones that I've been looking
Oh.
at for like, you know, but they're like $2,500 or something. Oh,
They
talking
were
about
showing Octane. They were talking about Octane in the.
Ooh.
That's
Faster
funny.
rendering Octane X.
That's funny.
Anyway,
Welcome to Distracted
welcome to,
Mograph.
yeah, constant interruptions
Yeah.
because of the Apple stream.
Welcome to the half watch party.
So let's go back to Matt pitching a tent. What you got? What you got? What-
So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about the place. All the private cabins are really cool too, you know, and like the community cabins are just great. It's a fantastic facility. So yeah, what else?
Sponsors.
Yes. Well, actually, I do want to say we've been looking at the wait list. If you are on the wait list, make sure and keep an eye on your emails because we may have a few extra tickets that we're going to release here soon. So just keep an eye on that. What else? Big shout out to our sponsors. Most importantly, Otoy, who is our global sponsor for the event. We're super excited to have them on board. We love Otoy and all that they do and how they support us. Thank you so much, Otoy. And then our village sponsors, both Maxon and Spilt. Super excited to have them on board, staying in one of those villages. And also Grayscale Gorilla, our gold sponsor. They are they're sponsoring, so their sponsorship is going to be pretty cool. I'm very excited about it. I don't know if we should talk about it yet, but I have been
I didn't know that
buying
wasn't
things.
public.
What?
I didn't know that wasn't public yet.
I mean, I don't know, is it? I guess we
I
can
have
talk
no
about it.
idea.
I don't know.
I didn't think it was
So
a secret.
they are sponsoring a music corner at camp. So I'm bringing the drum set and hold on, I gotta show you this.
Oh my gosh. By the way, they're upgrading the cheese grater to M2.
Had to pick up
Showing
a new
Octane.
guitar
They're
specifically
showing Cinema
for
4D and Octane
the
right
music
now.
corner. So it's a write-off because we're using it for
look
camp,
at that.
right? Super pretty. So really excited about that.
Very cool.
Oh boy. Put that
Apple
down.
was just showing Cinema 4D and Octane in the new cheese grater.
Yeah, they're showing a new Mac Pro or something. I don't.
M2 cheese grater. Now, if you want a real computer, you can build it yourself.
True.
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Did we finish our sponsors?
Yeah, we finished the sponsors. I was just
Okay,
talking about
good.
the music corner.
I didn't want to.
So, but I'm
interrupt
gonna
your sponsors.
I'm gonna test everything. I'm bringing the drum set. I'm bringing a bass guitar. Bringing a regular guitar. Bringing a couple, microphones and a PA unit. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So if you're just feeling like jamming out, it's gonna be great.
So the Mac Pro has 6 USB-C slots in them, the little ones, and a bunch of 4 HDMI's, and then no USBs, no regular USBs. Good job.
Really?
That's what it looks like.
So stupid.
On the cheese
Um,
grater?
And
Yeah,
the
they
new
just
one.
showed the back of it. It was 6 USB-Cs
Yeah,
and
it
4
was-
HDMI's.
It was 2 HDMI's and 2 USBs, like the
Oh,
regular
I didn't
kind.
see the 2
Was it?
USBs.
I thought that's what it was.
Maybe that was just another
2 HDMI
portion of the back.
ports, 8 Thunderbolt.
Dual 10 gig Ethernet.
And
But it's so much. How much is that going to cost?
it's going to be
That's
at
a
least
24
$20,000
core
to $30,000.
24 core CPU. That's what I just put in my new machine. And I want to know the difference because it's just got to be an ungodly price. The Mac Studio is $19.99. So what is the Mac Pro going to be? I'm sure he's going to say.
Man!
What did they say?
Cheap.
$7,000?
Is it $7,000?
$7,000.
Starting at $7,000, but 6 is what I paid for my Mac Studio.
I just
Am I
spent
behind?
$7,000. You might be a little behind. I just spent
Oh, yeah, okay.
$7,000.
Now I just saw the price, yeah.
Yeah,
I
have
just
to
spent
refresh.
$7,000 on a new machine.
man.
On building a new machine. And this was the top of the line. And it is definitely better than what Mac's got going on there. It has to be. It's got two 4090s in it, right?
Yes, but you also have to look at it this way. You're building it yourself, You're building
I
this
know,
machine. If
but-
you were to go to a company like Puget or something like that, it would cost you the same amount of money. You know, it's only because you have this
But it's not just
specialization
that.
of being able to build a computer, and you're picking out the stuff and you're doing all the
Yeah.
work
The
yourself.
labor, yeah.
You know,
but just
and you're
for
taking
a Mac,
you're taking the responsibility of if something goes wrong.
well,
you
yeah,
know?
that's true. But the thing is, like, you can't upgrade it. You can't change anything. You can't.
I mean, they were
fix
just
anything.
showing that
You
it's
can't-
got some expansion slots and stuff like that, or some PCI expansion
Yeah.
slots.
I mean, the number one thing is you don't have an NVIDIA card in it. You know.
yeah, but like
And I just
honestly, the NVIDIA card doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't, because you can run. I can run Octane. I can run Redshift. I can run any GPU renderer that I need on my Mac Studio.
But is
And
it as fast? Is my question.
Yeah,
as fast.
It's about equal to like a 3070, on this one. Who knows what it's going to be on that? Says Octane's 3 times faster now,
Yeah, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
The problem is we don't have good benches between the two. And can you
there's
network
no
render to a
benchmarks.
PC yet?
There's 0 benchmarks for the Mac. There's no Octane bench for the Mac, unfortunately.
Oh, this is funny. So Collins just said it's just adult Legos. I literally said that last night. I was sitting there next to the giant stack of unfinished Lego projects that my daughter is doing, working on my build, and I said, "You got to check this out. It's like adult Legos." But okay, here's what I put in my machine. I'm going to tell you. This is interesting.
Yes.
I did a lot of research. Gurge helped me a bit. I only had one issue. Here's the thing. Every time I've built a computer, there's been issues, or I have to order another part or something like that. And I had some problems. I got scammed on Amazon twice, trying to get a CPU, because they wouldn't take down this store that was selling these. This is what I got instead of a $600 CPU was a lens cover, and it happened twice. And they were trying to tell me that it wasn't a
their
scam.
Reviews was saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, I got a lens cover."
Well, here's the problem: is that this happened to us before with yours that came to my house. It was missing from the box.
Yeah.
And this was on a Ryzen years ago. So it happened again, and I assumed it was the same thing, is that someone in fulfillment yanked the thing and just did the old switcheroo. The problem was it was actually the seller that was the scam artist, right? So when I got this, before I even called and had it replaced, I ordered another one because I needed it right away.
Yeah.
Well, it was the same seller. So before they were even able to figure out the scam, I ordered 2 of these from the same place, right? And then they were allowing them to stay online. And there's hundreds of reviews. And I'm telling them online, look at the hundreds of reviews. And they're like, well, you already returned one this week. So I'm like, but look at the hundreds of reviews saying they got this exact same lens cover. Then he told me, well, we can refund it, but you're going to have to send that back. I'm like, the lens cover? You need me to go to the post office and send this 1 cent thing
The thing
back
that you
to
didn't order in the first place. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you could print out a shipping label and just put it on the box you had. I'm like, I ripped the box apart because I was so pissed, and I threw it across the room.
Yeah.
So I went to Best Buy and I got it. But here's the thing. i9 13900K 24 core processor, right? The motherboard I got, solid. I'm so happy with this. I was looking at a different one, and Gurge is like, no, you need to get this one. You have to get a you have to get the right kind of PCI, but this has PCI 5, 2 PCI 5 slots, even though online it says it doesn't. If you go
I
to
don't know what
PC
that
part
means.
picker,
Explain to me what that is.
it's what you want to put your 4090s in, basically,
Okay.
right? You want to have this fast PCI 5 lane, but most of them will have like 1, or they'll have 2, but they're too close, and then the other ones are like different. This has actually 2, and even if you go to PC part picker, it says, well, that won't work. It only has 1 slot. It has 2. The PCI 5.0 16 lane or whatever, right? So it has those. My only problem was that the slot was just low enough to where I have like 1/2 an inch missing for this card to fit. It won't fit. After all everything else went well. Everything else worked. I had hiccups and whatnot, but I didn't have to order any extra parts. I didn't have to go to the store. Like it posted the first time I turned it on. But
Wait, so like it's got a PCI slot. It's just is the case too small?
it's just that it touches the bottom of the case, and it would be fine if I could bring it up one slot,
Oh,
but I
Yeah.
can't.
but you could just get another case though, couldn't you?
I could get an entire new
Okay.
case, take it all out, unwire everything I wired.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, in the future, like later this year, once I got it running, I was going to water cool it, and that would take it down to 2 slots. So I'm like, do I
Right.
put it in another case for now, or do I just run the one card for like a month until I can get around to outfitting it? It's I would like to have it working because I'm working on a lot of projects. But it's interesting how much it changes over the years. The one that I'm building now. Not only is it fast as hell, the memory's fast as hell, but I'm learning a lot more about power and stuff, and a lot of the pieces are changing. You used to have all of those crazy cables and the Y splitter now to go into the 4090,
Yeah.
but you can get a power supply that has those PCIe 5 connectors,
That's
direct power connectors. So it's one connector that's
Cool.
going.
How much was your power supply?
The power supply was pretty spendy because I got that, and it was hard to find too. It's a Be Quiet, and it has, it was up there. It was probably $500. It has those connectors on it for one, and it's super quiet. But the other thing is it's a 1600 watt power supply.
Right, of course.
It has to
Yeah.
be high. But I also went with the titanium rated one.
Nice.
You're going to get more efficiency and everything else. What else did I put in there? Is that it? I mean, I got RGB stuff. It's going to be called Pickle Rick because I name them all after Rick and Morty characters. And this one has the little LCD window over the CPU cooler where you can put whatever you want. So it's going to have the little face of Pickle Rick on it, But I am super happy with it. Like, it's like the case, and that's the problem. I got a really great case, and I love the case. It just sucks.
Is it going to become your main machine?
It's going to become my main machine.
All right.
Yeah, and the other ones are going to become rendered nodes. It's going to be fast AF. So
Nice.
Nice.
anywho, and we'll probably talk about this on a different show sometime. But I also got that new Sony camera for a project I'm
Yeah.
working on. And
Just spending money left and right, baller.
Yeah, well, it's all business expenses, tax write-offs. It's the ZV-E1 Sony. It is the same as the higher end. It has the same chip as some of the higher end cameras, and people are upset because usually they have market segmentation, right? Like they try and keep some of the pro features out of the prosumer and consumer stuff so that you'll buy the nicer ones. But man, this has everything, and people are upset. It's so good. This is the best camera I've ever seen in my life. It's nuts. So we'll talk about that another time, though. Maybe with Jags or something. So
Is Jags here? Is he?
oh, in the chat, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really nice when you have people like Jags and Nick and Scott egging you on to spend money. Like, no, buy this one instead. Well, here's $100 mic. No, buy the $300 microphone. Trust me. That kind of a thing.
Oh, dude, I was talking to Jags about when I was like on the fence about buying like the new MacBook that came out earlier this year, and he was just like, yeah, you gotta, like, a couple people, not just Jags, but they were all just like, you gotta just max out everything, like just go all in. I was like, I don't know if I need 8 terabytes of disk space.
Right.
That seems excessive. Like,
Everybody needs 8 terabytes of disk space, though. I'm just saying.
I think I have 8 terabytes of disk space.
I went for 4 because it just will condition me to be better about file management.
Yeah.
But also have a little
constraint.
flexibility.
Yeah.
Like the tiniest constraint, like just more like a little guardrail.
Well, let's talk about you and your career now, because at some
Yeah.
point we're going to get interrupted by the Apple AR goggles.
Yeah, they're doing all like iPhone stuff right now. This is
Yeah.
not as interesting.
So you were on before. We were doing like an NAB wrap up, so we didn't really do like the regular episode with you. We didn't talk about your background and all the things.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the beginning, and we'll talk about some of the stuff you're doing and how you arrived here.
Yeah. How far back do we want to take it? Like,
Well, let's talk about school and kid. You know, when you were born, did you have an Apple Pencil in your hand or VR?
I was born with VR goggles on.
I might have had some sort of pencil, but it wasn't an Apple branded pencil.
The number 2.
Yeah, it actually might have been like a couple years later after I was born, because I wasn't allowed to play with sharp objects as an infant.
Did you do art? Did you do a lot of art growing up or anything? Or was that later?
Yeah, I loved art as a kid. I have a very fond memory of watching Wallace and Gromit. Like, that was what kind of got me into like art. Jeez, Gromit. Yeah.
Do you know
Gromit.
what is the cheese that he wanted? It was
Wensleydale.
Wensleydale. So Wensleydale was about, the company that made Wensleydale, or Wensleydale cheese, was about to go out of business until the Wallace and Gromit one came out. And they only used Wensleydale because they loved the way it looked when he talked, when he said Wensleydale, right? And because of that, like, their success shot up like exponentially because of it. It's so funny.
The partnership that no one knew about.
Right?
Yeah, right?
And there was also, I forget the name of the crackers that they used on the show too, but it was like a very distinct, like the orange packet with the black label. I want to say it was called Cream Crackers or something like that, or like, I don't remember the brand, but I wonder if they had a similar story. Like the cracker business was going under until Wallace kept saying crackers and showing that exact box.
Did you try and do any stop animation?
I
by
did.
That inspiration?
Yeah, so I didn't have. Like, my parents just had like a camcorder, and I think that since then we've gotten rid of it, and so I kind of regret now like not saving those videos. But it was just like a regular camera, so in order to do stop motion on there, I would just have to like keep rapidly pressing the record button to turn it on and off, just to save a frame. And then on top of that, because I wasn't using any like video editing, I was just, whatever I made on the camera, I would watch on the camera too. What I would do is
super janky.
It was super janky, and I would be trying to like add dialogue to it, so I'd say like a syllable, and then take another frame, and then another syllable.
1, 2.
You know,
my camera had audio dub on it, so when you were done, you could do that. But the problem with doing stop motion with it, and I didn't know at the time, I didn't understand this, but I would see people on TV that could just click and take a photo. I didn't realize, that's because that was like 16 millimeter. But you would have to wait for the light on the camera to turn on before it was actually recording. So when you would do a stop motion, you would hit it, and as soon as you see the light, you'd be like, okay, turn it off. So like not every frame of my animation was exactly 1 frame or 1 second. They varied.
Well, if it's very...
Well, if it's very.
One of the... So I used to work at like a crappy post-production house, where anyone from the street could bring in, just videos to get copied to DVD and stuff. And so one of the best videos I've ever seen in my life, right? And I think about this video, and I actually quote this video all the time. I think about it all the time. It was just a little kid who was doing these little stop motion, like things with his little characters or whatever. But the kid was so funny. Like he'd like, video the one of the characters, and he'd like do the voice of him, and then he'd cut to someone else and he'd do the voice of him, and back and forth. And it was the funniest thing I had ever seen in my life. And I really hope that kid went on to something great, because he was so funny.
And that kid is David Mellor.
Here I am. You found me.
Now, I animated Micro Machines and Ninja Turtles. What did you animate?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I didn't really have anything in particular in mind at the time. I remember when I was in elementary school, my dad... and mostly my dad, built like this diorama of like a blacksmith's house for a school project. And so I would use that a lot for a setting. And then I think at the time that was when I started getting really into Zelda. So I'd have like a little like blobby Link character that I would just have around. and just like, oh, he's just hanging around the house or doing this or that. So that was what I did when I first started doing it. And then when I got into, I think it was high school, like early high school. I think that was around the time that Lego Movie Maker came out.
Oh,
do you remember that?
It
was the whole box set that had like the software, like a little like web camera as well. And I think it was like a Spider-Man and like dinosaur city setting. And so I would play around with that a bit, and then that was like more proper stop motion software, so it like the camera would be on the whole time on the computer, and I would just like click a button and it would take a snapshot, and then I could dope over it and all that kind of stuff. So I did that for a bit, and then I remember I actually used that for like a school project. I was on a book report, or like it was a book that we were reading in class, and I did like a section of it, but like animated it in Legos, and I remember my teacher absolutely loved it. But aside from that, so after high school, went to college. I went to University of Oregon. First I went to Oregon State and did a year there before transferring to UVO.
Oh, what happened?
What happened?
I'm hearing this show all of a sudden somewhere.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Probably that was weird.
Did you grow up in Oregon?
Yeah. So I was born in Taiwan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So both my parents worked at Nike at the time, and so they worked at the office overseas for a couple years, and so I was born there. Flew back when I was still really, really young. Was pretty much raised here in Portland and Beaverton, like this area.
Right. Do you speak Mandarin at all?
No, and I from what I understand, if I wanted dual citizenship, I would have had to do like the mandatory 2 years of military or something like that. So I'm not a dual citizen either. I just can say that I was born in Taiwan, and that's about it.
Interesting.
But yeah, so when I got to college, I was doing more. It like the first part of my time in college was doing mostly just like digital art, graphic design, not a whole lot of animation. There was a couple like video classes that I took, but didn't get into that, or didn't do much of that. I did like another stop motion project or two at the time. Later on, I picked up. Do you guys remember Combustion from Autodesk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that for a film class. I did some sort of like animated text with images and stuff like that. Then I took an Apple Motion class and used After Effects instead. So that's how I taught myself After Effects.
You know, the one thing I still like from Motion that I wish After Effects would do is just indenting layers that make another layer. It's such a simple concept. If you have a layer, you want to put two more layers underneath that do two things, but that top layer also has an object. It's like pre-comping, but it just has a drop down instead, and they're just indented. It's the simplest concept. Adobe, please do that.
Like the way cinema does layers, right? For parenting or whatever.
Yes.
The hierarchy.
Yeah.
The hierarchy.
Just
system.
a hierarchy that shows the inside layers of the other. It can still be a pre-comp. Just show me underneath so I can make a little change on something without going to another comp. Anyway, proceed. Sorry.
Proceeding. It's all good. I was actually going to talk next about my C4D story. So after I did those tools, I took a 3D class. I think it was my senior or junior year of college. And from what I understand, they previously taught Maya, but then one of the teachers heard about a certain free program and taught that instead. Yeah, so that's how I got my start with Blender, and it was very short-lived because later
Which
on.
Blender were you using at the time?
God, it was still like 1 point something.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, it was still the 1.0 days, so it was tough to navigate. But I did that. I made a couple characters. I wish I actually had some renders that I could put up on screen. Maybe I'll do like a little retrospective thing on Instagram. But around that time, I was also playing around with our classroom's mocap studio.
Nice.
And I did this thing where someone was like dancing, and then I just like attached a bunch of cubes and like other things to make it like a very abstract looking piece in Blender. And I posted on Facebook, and then someone on there, his name is Brandon Sugiyama. He's a motion designer. He's been doing it for 10 plus years. Now he teaches at SCAD, I think. Cool. And he also was also, I think, the motion design lead for the Patriot Act. Really cool guy, great stuff. He asked, did I do this using like Cinema 4D or like a grayscale gorilla tutorial? And I had never heard of either of those things at that time. And so then I started going down that rabbit hole.
That's funny.
Right.
And halfway through that Blender class I was in, I was just doing everything in Cinema, and there was like a notable difference in like how fast I could work and just the quality that I was putting out. I think the first tutorial I did from Grayscale Gorilla was like the white room that had the mirror ball, and then there were other balls that would like dynamically like float and crash into it, and you could like change the gravity to choose where they go. So that was my first project in Cinema, and then graduated from there, started working at Wieden & Kennedy as a junior motion designer, and was doing a little. I still liked Blender at the time. I don't know why, but I still liked Blender, but I was still doing more C4D stuff. So I was polishing my skills in C4D and Blender there, and After Effects, and then worked at another small studio. Did that for a little bit, got familiar with Maya, and then that led me to getting a job at Nike for 4 years.
Nice.
So I was doing that. I was on like the 3D footwear design team, where I would be taking what was essentially napkin sketches from footwear designers and or a little bit more fleshed out than that.
Yeah.
But taking them and turning them into 3D renders that could then give a better representation of what the final product would look like, and get more buy off and get things to production faster once like the directors approve that stuff.
That's cool.
Now, what
and
year
you were doing
was
that
that
all
you
in
were
Maya?
I was at Nike from 2014 to 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
20. Okay.
And were you
All right.
doing that all in Maya?
I started doing that in Maya, and then I was starting to push a little bit more like C4D and ZBrush and Octane near the end of it. Actually, Chad Knight was my boss for the last year that I was there. There was like a reorg, and I didn't leave because of Chad. Chad was awesome. I loved him. But I just wanted to get back more into doing like actual animation and motion design. So I left, worked at another smaller studio for a bit. Then I went freelance for a while, and currently I'm back at Wieden & Kennedy as a senior motion designer.
When were you at Wieden & Kennedy the first time?
2012. Yeah, 2012.
2012 through
like early 2013. Actually, no. It was I think it was just all through. Well,
So did I ask you if you know Craig Allen?
You might have. I don't recognize the name.
He was creative director there 08 through 16. He wrote the I'm on a Horse commercial.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think we did talk about that last time.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. But
I heard.
Ooh,
I
you
heard
can
that
finally fill out PDFs on the iPad
gosh.
now.
Thank God. I was waiting for that feature.
distraction.
That's the one thing I wanted, and now it's in.
Right.
I'm sold.
Right.
I know. Well, only if they do
can die
some really
now.
cool stuff with the emojis this time, and the avatar stuff that
I don't know,
everybody
like
uses
video
all the time
stickers
so
looks
much.
pretty cool.
Yeah, well. I mean, it's all just stuff you mess around with. Like, it's just little, I don't know. Anyway, let's
I want to
continue
make
on.
emoji signatures.
Before the...
On my
So
PDFs.
you know Blender, you know Cinema 4D, and you know Maya.
all
Sorta.
the things.
Sort of.
C40 is my main thing, but like my current main thing is VR. So
Right.
Okay.
I'll do a lot of my modeling now using Substance Modeler. I'll bring that into ZBrush or just straight into Cinema 4D, and that's where I'll like add all my textures and animations and then hit render in there.
Yeah, well, because you're also really big into Substance, because at NAB, didn't you like step in with EJ and do a bunch of stuff?
Oh yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, so it was like we had talked about this a little bit before, because he had mentioned that they wanted EJ to be over there to do like a kind of like a help desk type thing for Substance, and I was like, oh sure, that sounds like a lot of fun. What's up, Dan? And
Sonic
then
guy?
Sonic guy.
It's like an inside joke.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
I'd love to be a part of one someday.
And so he asked like if I wanted to do that, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, that sounds like fun. We can like look at Substance Painter and Modeler and all that kind of stuff together. Oh, a sushi car.
I know.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy. Distraction.
And so I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds like fun. So the day, I think it was the day before or the morning of that we were supposed to do like the help desk type thing. I went over there. I was like, oh hey, so do you know where EJ and I are gonna like sit and like talk about Substance and all that kind of stuff? And the guy that I talked to must not have like known the full story with like all the workstations, because he said that they didn't have Substance installed on any of the computers.
Just so stupid.
And so I was like, what? Then what are we doing? So I text EJ, I tell him what's up, and then later on we're both on the show floor, and he's over there talking to them, and then he texts me, he's like, get over here, they got Substance. And I was like, okay, I'm coming. So we basically spent an hour just pulling. So okay, here's the other thing, is that we thought it was going to be just like, you know, sit at a computer and answer questions that people come by with. We ended up doing a presentation, like just pulling it out of our ass. Like he was in the middle of like installing Cinema on the computer and like getting his license, like his personal license activated on there, and then like he did like a quick modeling process of like making his pug statue. So that was the first, I want to say, like 20-30 minutes of that, and then it was me fumbling through Substance Painter trying to like color that up, and I was trying to do like a mossy texture on top of like a rocky sort of texture, and it ended up being like this weird like nuclear sludge that was on top of the pug. But I mean, the same like principles applied. So like I was talking about like auto masking and baking in like mesh maps for Substance Painter to use, and it was a lot of the same techniques that I used to texture pretty much all of my stuff for the Endless Engines thing that I made.
And now you are using but you're using Substance with VR, and that's been the thing lately. What have you been? You're modeling with Adobe's products, right?
Yeah.
And that's it's a VR modeling. I know nothing about this.
Adobe Modeler? Is that
Adobe
what it is?
Modeler.
It
used to be called something else before Adobe bought them.
It was called Medium. I think it was Oculus Medium, right?
Yeah. I
yeah.
believe so.
Oculus Medium.
That's right.
And then Adobe bought them, and then it became Adobe Medium.
Oh.
And then
okay.
And then Substance Model. Adobe Substance 3D Modeler is the full name.
Wow.
So
okay.
Say that 10 times fast. That is like the next iteration of Medium. Like,
I didn't realize it came from Medium, because I loved Medium. That's
yeah.
I didn't know that.
I have like a mixed relationship with Medium, because like I don't dislike it, but just the interface is something I'm not used to in there, so I stumble through it a lot.
What was your
Chris-
preferred interface before? What were you using in VR?
I didn't use VR before.
Oh, I thought maybe there was something else you were used to.
I
Because-
had tried. So I had tried. I had tried Medium. That was my first VR tool that I tried because I was making stuff for a music video that Chris Rutledge was working on. And so I worked on a scene with him. And that was a lot of fun. And I was able to get like some blobby cars, and it was perfect for the style.
Right.
There was nothing wrong with like the execution of that, but just like navigating that interface was what kept tripping me up. And so while Medium is more fully featured than Modeler, because Modeler is kind of like supposed to be, or I think the intent is it's supposed to be like the next iteration of Medium. I like Modeler because it has a cleaner like UI UX. So when I get in there, I know there's kind of like a back and forth about the fact that there's a lack of layers. I'm not bothered by that because I'm doing everything so like organically and loosey goosey that I'm just like picking a subtool and modeling that and then pulling back out and then picking another part, modeling that, and so on and so forth. So it works for my style of workflow.
There's not layers? I thought there were layers. Am I thinking of one of the other tools?
There's layers in Modeler or in Medium. And then I've played a little bit with Gravity Sketch, and then James Ramirez has turned me on to Quill, so I've been playing around with that a little bit.
Quill, yeah. I mean, I played with Quill around the same time. The problem is I don't believe there's a version of Quill for the wireless headsets yet, if I'm not mistaken. There was one where you could have the Quill viewer, but you couldn't actually like design anything in it, and or maybe it's Medium I'm thinking of. I don't remember, but either way, like there's some beautiful like viewers in like the Quest 2.
I know that Modeler is not on the Quest 2 unless you plug it in.
Yeah, you got to plug it in. Yeah.
I know that Quill underwent like new ownership, and so there's like I think there's 2 versions of Quill on the Oculus Store or the Meta Store or whatever they call it now. So I think one of them is I can't even remember the name, but it's like there's Quill and then there's Quill by something.
Weird.
And the one that says it's like Quill by someone, that's the latest and greatest one.
Are you taking stuff you're making though and using it on like a regular basis in other projects, or is it more of a hobby or a little of both?
It's a little bit of both. So when I first started doing VR modeling, I was just doing it for myself and personal projects. But since then, I've used it for stuff at work. In fact, I'll try to pull up a link for that.
And by the way, the Endless Engines, were you third place?
Fourth place.
Fourth place.
Yeah.
Fourth place. All right, cool. Yeah.
What did you win?
I won a it was a year of Max on 1.
Nice.
$200 to Kaft, which is I think it's like a Turkish clothing company.
They're talking about gaming on the Mac, and I just have to giggle.
Oh yeah, the game porting kit or something like that.
Is that what they're doing?
That's the other thing, man.
Yeah.
Like if I get one of those, I can't game on it.
Yeah, but
build
that's why
my
you
own,
buy
I
your
get to
own
game on
separate
it.
gaming rig. You know, like I've got a separate gaming rig from the computers, separate from my rendering rigs. You know,
I have a gaming rig called a PlayStation.
I know, right? I usually just jump on the Xbox because it's easier, but
Yeah.
yeah, you could play some mad, I don't know, Fortnite. I don't know.
Fortnite is Brandon still in the chat? We've been
know.
playing Fortnite a bit. Me,
Oh, really?
Brandon, Garrett, Winbush,
I've been
Played
playing
with you
that.
a few weeks ago.
Logan.
I've been playing that spin-off Fortnite.
Yeah, we played a couple times too. Right,
Fortnite called the spin-off called Halo. It's got the guy from Fortnite.
Yeah, I've done a bit with
Fortnite.
The guy from Fortnite.
yeah, so the clothing gift card, Max on 1, and
Yeah.
then there was something else. I can't remember. Oh, kit bashes.
Nice.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So
And
I
first
picked
place
up-
got Camp Mograph ticket.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
We have him on the list, right, Matt? We have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
okay,
he's
good,
on
good,
there.
good.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to, because I'm going to camp as well. So I'm looking forward to
Mm-hmm.
meeting him in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I
'Cause
loved
I-
that video of him realizing he won. Did you watch?
I did.
Did you
Yeah.
see his video?
yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Cool.
I loved that. It
great.
was wholesome.
Yeah. Very wholesome.
Yeah. So okay, so I have like a ton of tabs pulled up with some of the stuff that you've done. I don't know if you want to go through it a little bit. We can talk
Sure.
about some of these.
Yeah. Let's talk.
I've got Ascending Release. Is that right? Is that
Oh,
right?
yeah.
What do we got here?
That was a collaboration that Chad and I did. I think 20.
Say that looks very Chad Knight.
That's just his. That's like that mesh face character is his model, and like the background, like the hills and stuff were his, and then I just put some particle effects to it, some camera movements, and then some other like prisms. This character that I made in ZBrush and right here.
That chromatic
Yeah.
aberration, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the nice little fate chromatic aberration in After Effects where you just take the channels and like shift them slightly.
Right. Yeah, man, you gotta
Um,
use Red Giant for that now. It's so easy.
Yeah, I got Max on 1 now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, I really do use a lot of Red Giant tools now because it is just so easy to flip over on some of these things. You know what my latest one has been? My go-to? Finisher.
What's
Okay.
Finisher?
You just throw Finisher on a top layer, on a top adjustment layer, and it just adds a little sharpness, contrast, and stuff. Brings things out a little bit. It just gives it a little pop, as they say. You know.
Make
Yeah.
it pop.
Also got your I got your whole Vimeo account up here, but I got a time lapse on one of the VR things that you did. Since we're talking about VR stuff, what app,
Yeah.
is this?
That's Modeler.
The newest version? I haven't played with it yet. Looks a little different now.
Is it free?
No, it's I think there's like a month-long trial that you can do through Creative Cloud, and then there's like the 2 tiers of Adobe Substance, and I think that Modeler comes with the top one maybe. So I think that's like the 30 something bucks a month extra, but you can also buy it from Steam, like a permanent license.
Man,
Oh,
it is.
okay.
And it-
This geometry is so clean. Like I think back on original Medium, I think the little blobs of clay. You know, I don't think like about geometry this clean. It's very advanced as opposed to what it used to be when I was using it.
And like I'm really just taking a bunch of like simple blobby shapes and just like pushing and pulling it around with like the move tool. So that I like to keep
That's
my
cool.
stuff clean that way, and then using like Boolean tools to make clean cuts, and then smoothing the edges.
The geo is so clean compared to what I remember. Like, and I love that you can kind of do like a Mograph-y thing with it too. Did you have those pedals go around like a center point?
Yeah.
what
So
you were doing
the
there?
the center point is just that axis in the middle. Yeah.
It's kind of Mograph-y, you know.
Yeah.
Mograph
But then
Yeah.
so this stuff I was actually taking into Cinema 4D, and this is what I presented my thing at NAB about, my actual presentation, not the Adobe one with EJ.
Yeah.
So I was talking about how I did this time lapse, and then I would bring that into Cinema 4D and do some like quick zero meshing, and then a bit of vertex painting, just so I could have a little color variation when I was building materials, because then those materials would take that gradient map data and have like a very slight tonal shift, because I found that as I've been doing more VR stuff, I don't like having just like a single like flat color on it. I like to have like a little bit of a hue shift happening. It just makes it pop more.
that word.
Yeah.
Now the thing you were modeling there was the toucan. I think I have the toucan up somewhere. I know I saw him earlier. Let's see. Where's the toucan? Probably
it's on
your.
Instagram. It's not on Vimeo. It's on Instagram.
Oh, it's on your Instagram. Okay, here. Yeah, there's
there
the
it is.
toucan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
Love
there's
that
that.
one. Yeah,
Thank
I didn't
you.
realize that was done in Modeler. Although you probably showed that at NAB, and I was probably just in the booth distracted.
How could you?
Yeah. What else do I have here?
I thought I meant more to you.
Yeah. Well, here's your entire reel, by the way. And so, what else are you doing besides VR on some of these? Is it VR, Substance, Cinema 4D?
So like that KFC one, that was way before I was using VR. So that was all just like box modeling in Cinema 4D. But yeah, before jumping into VR, I was doing most of my modeling just straight in Cinema 4D using their tools. They do the job just fine for me. For the more organic stuff, I was using ZBrush.
Okay.
But when I made the switch to VR, that more organic stuff just came so much like quicker because I would do, a little bit of sketching before doing like making my VR or making my model in Cinema, but now I can just do my sketching and my like final modeling all in one program and then bring that over to Cinema afterward.
I love this. Man, it's so colorful. Didn't we talk about that last time?
love your
about
characters.
the colors.
Thanks.
Your colors are amazing. Like, do you
Colors,
do a lot
Joe.
to bring out the colors in post? Like,
I
do you do a lot of post work?
Not really. I do like maybe a little bit of like a levels and curves adjustment, but otherwise I try to do all my color work in the render, and then I just do like just that little bit of adjustment in After Effects and also do like some unsharp masking and sharpening just to help it like pop more, especially on a smaller screen, because like some of those little like details, like there's one on Instagram where it's like the little clay triangles where there's all those little like cracks and details of the clay material, and I had to sharpen it just to bring out those details even more so you could see it on that smaller screen.
Now, at your jobby job, though, like, is any of this stuff from your jobby job? Are you allowed to show, or is a lot of this personal work or a mix?
So it's a mix. So this is if you want to like start at the beginning, I can kind of like explain what each one is. So that's my title. That was done by me. So personal project. These first two were personal projects. This is when I was really starting to find my flow with VR. This was the Endless Engines challenge. This was KFC for like at Wieden and Kennedy. So I worked with one studio designer to do like he worked on the storyboard and like the pattern designs and like the overall look of it, and then I would just translate all that into 3D. So all the 3D work and animation and rendering was done by me for that project, and that was like a month or two long project. It was super fun. I loved working on that one.
KFC does some great
Yeah,
stuff.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I love is that you can't tell the difference between your personal work and your job work or whatever.
Right.
It's all very much your style and all very similar.
But like this one with the laptop,
I'm very jealous of that.
Is this a commercial right here? Like
this? Yeah. So this is the latest thing that Neil Hilkin and I worked on together at Wieden, and then had some support from the rest of the team. So this was for HP Omen. And this was one of the major projects where I was actually able to use VR to build all of the characters, all of the backdrops, the whole environment basically was built in VR, except for like the water was just like a simple plane with like a reflective material, and then obviously the laptop was just like a model that we had for the spot.
Yeah, and then
So
I mean, we don't have to go
Do
through
you
the
do
whole
a lot
thing,
of
but
character stuff as well?
yeah.
I've definitely done more character stuff as of late, especially with the transition to VR. I find it fun to just like build silly characters in there.
Do they allow, like, at work, do they allow you to like take most of the stuff that you've done and put it on a reel, or do you have to like go through like kind of a system to ask permission? Like, is that
Yeah,
tough?
so I'll have to ask for permission, or like the general rule is like if it's been out if it's like out in public, then I just have to ask, and if they say yes, then that's pretty much the permission I need to share, because it's all like internal agency work. So generally when that is posted, like I'll usually wait until the company itself, like, or till Wyden itself like writes up like a thing talking about what they did for the project, and then
Right.
at that point it's kind of like implied permission, I guess, to
I get that. Yeah.
but I'll still do like the due process of just checking, just to make sure that I'm not
Sure.
posting anything
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to.
That's generally what I do, is like if it's online somewhere else, it's like, okay, well, they're not hiding it. It's not a secret if they've got it posted publicly. You know.
Yeah, and so like for the HP thing, like it was very much that. It was like it's online, so I just had to ask for permission to put it in there.
And I love this one here, the Falling Zelda.
Yeah, that was fun. So
Or
that
fall-
was.
Falling.
Have you played Tears of the Kingdom?
Is that Falling? That's Falling Link
Oh
though,
yeah,
technically,
I've
right?
played.
Not
it's
actually
Link, yeah.
Zelda.
You
know.
I've played plenty of that game since it came out.
I played Breath of the Wild for about an hour, and I did not like it. I'm probably the only
Really?
person in the world who did not like the Zelda game on the Switch, and so like I just didn't bother. My dad loved it. He loved it, but I couldn't get into it. Like I died too many times because of those big things that shot lasers at you, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm done.
Generally, what I've heard is that if you liked Breath of the Wild, you will love Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And if you didn't like Breath of the Wild, maybe skip Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, I loved both games. I love Tears of the Kingdom more than Breath of the Wild now.
Really?
It just has added so much more that the first game had to offer. So it's great.
Wow.
So did you do this design in VR?
So yeah, the Link character was in VR. The rocks were, I think the rocks are Quixel. I think they're Quixel rocks. And then the background, I just made like a quick like Zelda-esque background in Midjourney.
No, that's funny.
And just blurred it out.
That's funny.
But then the animation was done in Houdini, just using Vellum just to like make a floppy ragdoll character, and then just like I had to set up a rig where the camera would follow the character down and then have like an offset so I could make it loop almost seamlessly.
They're adding Zoom to Apple TV so that you can
make calls
and FaceTime to Apple TV.
Hey. It's funny though, because I saw this beforehand, and it reminded me of like apparently there's a commercial playing first.
You got to pay for
but here we
YouTube
go.
Premium, bro.
Oh my god, I remember this.
So this is Falling Girl. It was a flash animation thing where you could drag. I don't know why she's in a bikini, but you could drag her around and like throw her, and she would bounce and flail using like flash dynamics through these different spheres. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, it reminds me of that. It's like newgrounds.com or something back in the day.
Is this the prequel to Fall Guys?
Right.
I got the good bell back. I got
Oh, good. Not the crappy Disney bell.
I mean, I have
Is
that
Apple...
one too, but like, yeah.
Have they announced their AR headset yet?
No.
Or are they
I
not
have
going
a feeling
to?
it's coming
Are
soon.
we wrong?
Sorry if
No.
y'all hear my kids screaming and yelling.
Because they're excited.
Apple Watch 10,
Yeah,
I guess,
that's it.
is the next thing that they're talking about.
Another Apple Watch.
No, it's the OS.
Oh, not a new Apple Watch. Just the OS. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
You know what I use my Apple Watch for? Telling the
watch.
time.
Yeah.
Literally.
Way.
A watch.
Yeah.
I enjoy
Like, the
messages on the watch.
notifications are okay, but like,
Yeah.
I use it as a watch.
It's-
I do feel
it's a
naked. I don't
passive
have it on
thing.
right now. I feel naked.
Yeah, mine's off too.
Yeah.
Mine is too.
I
That's fine.
get like the tiniest bit of satisfaction when I see the little like fitness ring close, but
Oh.
that
Yes.
Yeah, that
But-
hasn't happened since NAB.
Well, you know what you do? You just lower your goals.
You just lower the goals, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you'll feel
My
good
goal
about
is
yourself.
to walk 10 steps per day.
Yeah.
There you go.
When
Yeah.
you hit your goal, you're always feeling good. I exercised. I'm strong. So, what are you working on next? As much as you can say.
Yeah.
What am I working on next? Not a ton, actually. I just got back from a trip last week, and then there's been like a couple little internal projects at work. Not a ton on that front that I can talk about anyway. I've got a couple like sketches and ideas for future personal projects, but haven't executed on them yet. Part of it is just I just haven't found like the energy or motivation, and the other part is that I'm playing Zelda for every other hour of the day that I'm not working.
That's funny.
Hey, how long did the Endless Machines one take you? How long did it take you to do that whole thing?
Endless Engines.
Endless Engines, yeah.
Endless Engines. So I think I put as like a total of like 80 hours
Okay.
on that. So as soon as the announcement went out, like that first day, I blocked out my scene. I knew close to exactly what I wanted to make, as far as like having a motorcycle that like cruises through this sort of coastal town, semi-futuristic city. And then from there, I was just pulling references online from like Akira Toriyama, like the Dragon Ball artist. He does like a lot of really cool machines and vehicles that have really neat proportions. So I really gravitated towards that style. And then everything, all the models in that scene are all done in VR, including the character. And then I was using Mixamo to rig the character, and then some other light rigging for like the motorcycle and stuff like that. So all in all, like it was a couple hours every other day, maybe. I wasn't like super consistent. I think there was even like a whole week where I just hadn't touched it. But yeah, I was just like a couple hours in the evening would kind of like whittle down to it, and then like the last week was when I actually sat down and did like more time each day to get it into a polished spot. And then at the end of it, before like the day or two before I was supposed to submit it, I was starting to play around with like other stylistic things that I could do with it. So I added like a halftone pass on top of some of the parts of it. I was gonna originally try to do some 2D effects, like hand draw them and then like stick them in the scene, but then I found a pack that had pretty much the exact style that I wanted online, so I bought that and used that cool. for the project, and so that worked out. So in the end, I had like pretty good pacing without breaking myself over it, and then I was able to afford myself extra time just to really get it to exactly how I wanted it. So I was really happy with how it turned out.
Well, you put a halftone pattern on the, what was it, the Wario or something? Was there a Wario one? Well, it was in your reel, but I don't see it on your Instagram version. But
so the Wario one, I re-rendered that Wario with the halftone for the reel, because originally it was like the 9x16.
Right.
But I like that one so much that I added it to my actual reel and like updated the materials and made it like less shiny.
Right. I like this triangle one you did too here more recently, a few weeks ago.
That one was a lot of fun. I liked adding the grayscale gorilla materials.
I was gonna ask.
The clay dough materials.
Now, how much of those materials is displaced? I mean, is there a lot of displacement in that, like, or like all the fingerprints? You know,
the models are very smooth. Like they're just like straight models. I still modeled them in VR, but there is no like bumpiness happening, except for maybe on the melty looking dude on the right, the turquoise one. But yeah, otherwise that's all displacement maps. Gotcha. And then I've been playing more recently with Signal to make it kind of move and have that stop motion effect, because EJ had the tutorial of how he did that with his frog character.
Right.
And then I recently discovered a way to... I'm going to back up for a second. So in Houdini, there is a way to stick generated noises and like triplanar stuff to a model even as it's animating. So you have like a base position, and then it whatever that base position is, like what the material will stick to. And so I was able to figure out a way to do that in cinema, because there's not like an obvious way to do that. And what I found is if you like, I tried this with the Link character that's just flopping around, because that's just an Alembic file. And so what I did was I took a still of that, like the first frame of that, applied materials to that model, and then used the Alembic file to mesh deform the static one. And so it would keep the whatever the materials were projected to that model, but then it would carry out throughout the actual animation, instead of doing that weird thing where like it looks like the model is kind of passing through the noise.
Right.
And that was after I posted the Zelda one. So I went back and tried that because I wanted to do like a clay material for that too. But I was getting frustrated and couldn't find like the right way to do it, so I just gave up and posted it as it was. But now I know how to do that, and I'm really happy that I can use that for future stuff.
Could you use that technique to do something like you know when you remesh something in Volume Builder and it doesn't keep all of its properties? You know what I'm talking about? You know, you'll remesh something, you'll throw something through a Volume Builder, right? And then it just you lose all the materials, right? You'd have to remap it yourself or whatever, right? So then, like, could you use that technique to remap materials? I know there's a way to do it. I know Chris Schmidt said he figured out a way to do it, but it's super complicated. I didn't know if that was the same thing. But
it could be.
Yeah.
The technique that I'm using though is more specific to like triplanar mapping and like noises. So nothing that's UV dependent. So I don't know if it'd work in that case.
Yeah.
Unless there is a way that you can like project UVs to a new mesh. There might be a way, actually. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and this clay. I love the clay. I need to play with the clay. That's so fun. Yeah.
I'm having a lot more fun with it, and it's just kind of like calling back to what I talked about at the beginning, was like my interest in animation and art started with Wallace and Gromit, and now I'm kind of bringing more of that like claymation style, or trying to bring more of that claymation style back into it.
Right.
And that's also why I like to make all my characters very colorful, because it harkens back to that too.
Well, that's if they're very. We have this inside joke. See, I am part of an inside joke.
There you go.
Yep.
Matt and I had this inside joke stemming from something really obscure that on a DVD I have from years ago. But somebody will start to say something and say it's very, and we'll be like, well,
if it's
at least if it's very.
It's nice.
Actually, if you go and watch the Dallas show.
Do you do it in there?
Well, someone says, you know, it's very, and then you can see Dave and I make eye contact.
Yeah, and we did it earlier in the day too. Someone was on stage and I was like working, and I turn around and I see Matt like across the room staring at me. Oh, it's just very.
Well, if it's very.
That just reminds me of like the meme where it's the balloon Mario and Luigi just looking at each other with the bug eyes. Have you seen that?
I think so. Is that the they're the same. Is that one?
No, it's the one where it's like two kids and like are trying to pick out like science partners, and like you and your best friend look at each other.
Oh, right.
It's that one. Yeah.
Oh.
That was good.
Yeah. They're still on this Apple Watch thing.
I know.
Give me some VR, man.
Talking about how do you feel right now? Logging your emotions. I don't need Apple to know how I'm logging my emotions.
That's what a therapist is for.
Dude, like, and there's some of these new AI apps and stuff that I'm about to go off a tangent. You know, where they're like taking your conversations. Dave, we did this the other day. You added this into our Zoom call, our Mograph Zoom call, and it takes the conversation and it like says how like happy it is, how negative it is, you know, and I'm just like, I don't like that. I don't like that at
Yeah,
all.
it's called Read,
Yeah.
and you put it into your Zoom, and it will make you like a to-do list. Here's a summary of the call. Here's what everybody needs to do. Here's the general consensus on the overall tone of the meeting. How much people were paying
you can
attention.
Only imagine how they're taking. They've got to be like
Mining
taking
the
that,
data.
mining that information.
I don't
like,
know. There's some
yeah,
privacy
dude.
stuff on it actually, because if you're having private meetings, you gotta keep that private.
Now-
So I don't know.
Now, here's a question though: Can you trick the AI with another AI? So can you like it said like how many people are paying attention in the meeting?
Mhm.
Could you use that
Oh.
other AI thing where it like tracks your eyes and
Your
makes it, like,
eyes
look
are
at the
always
screen
looking.
the
Oh,
whole
that's
time?
funny. Yeah.
You're like, wow,
Everyone's
Matt
paying
was really
attention.
attentive today. What?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, that's the NVIDIA thing.
Or
with
if
the-
you wear glasses with eyeballs on them.
Right. That's funny. What if you don't have your video on at all? See, people will just start doing that.
They just start making assumptions.
Yeah. I don't know. Tracking your emotions. Here's the thing. Apple is pretty locked down with all the things. As far as security, I guess I would trust them more than some others. But I like the idea of being able to, of course, besides the creepiness factor, if you get past that, I like the idea of being able to figure out, okay, well, I was in a bad mood that day because... look how I ate the last 4 days before that, or I skipped my medication that day, or whatever it is, right? Like something, or you felt bad because you didn't, because the allergies were up in your area and you didn't take a Zyrtec that day.
God,
I
my
can
allergies
kind
are
of
awful
understand.
right now.
Yeah. But I could understand if you can go back and look at data and be like, look, you felt really good when you took your medicine 5 days in a row because
Right.
you didn't sneeze all week, it's,
Right.
or I don't know, something like that.
I mean, I don't need an app to tell me that my medication is working. At least the one I use. Is that what you were talking about?
I'm talking about Zyrtec.
Oh.
But like,
like that. It
Like
tracks
feeling-
how you feel good versus like what the weather
right,
is, right?
I haven't
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
sick
Yeah,
this week because I took my Zyrtec, or I
Right.
feel really crappy and I have a stuffy nose, and it's like, well, you haven't taken Zyrtec in 5 days, dummy.
Yeah. Of course,
'Cause
I
I use
also
it to
like
track
to see
meds.
energy level and stuff like that when you take Zyrtec, because it always
Right.
makes me tired. You
Yeah.
know.
I just like being able to access my own data and be able to, and maybe even put that in with some AI and stuff and let it figure out what makes me feel better. I mean, that's a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else before we get out of here today?
We're gonna do.
Oh, we got to do Mograph
Mograph
recommends. Let's do that
recommends.
before we go. Yeah.
Mograph recommends.
And then maybe
Yeah.
there'll be a AR headset by then. We'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'd recommend.
Do you think
Apple
it's
to
weird that they're
make a
like
headset.
doing all this now? Like,
Not live.
yeah, they're not doing it live. It's all
pre-recorded. Yeah. Well, I just
I
also
mean, I
wonder
don't
what
know.
the engagement is like, because at this point, like if, like I would put all the like the VR stuff at the beginning, not wait for it at the end, because I'm not interested in this stuff.
People just tweeted, "Get to the damn headsets."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, that's true though. They always
that's
save
my-
it for one more
Yeah,
thing.
it's their one
That-
more thing.
That's
Yeah.
my recommends right now. Is I recommend Apple hurry up with the headset.
Right.
It's
Man,
I would think it would be hilarious if there was no headset announcement. Oh gosh, that would
There
just
might
make
not
my
be.
day.
There might not be.
Don't jinx it.
They could be waiting till September because that is when Facebook this fall is coming out with version 3 of their
Yeah.
headset. Which kind
Yeah,
of
but they've
irks
already
me.
announced it and showed it off, right?
They have, and it kind of
Yeah.
irks me because it's like, how is this any different from the really expensive Pro version that you just put out?
Right.
Well, I guess we'll just have to play with the Quest 3 until then.
All right,
Yeah.
they're transitioning into another part of the show right now. So
Oh, dark
somebody's
stage.
standing on stage.
Oh!
And it's dark. Oh my goodness. Are we gonna get it? Are we gonna get it? Who's on stage? Is
They
that
introduced some amazing new Macs.
is
I'll
that
do-
Tim
I'll do-
Apple?
I'll do my recommends after this.
Yeah.
I know, because we're gonna be talking.
It's already
about
been
it
a
the
big
whole
day.
time.
Yeah.
Let me turn on
But,
the subtitles.
yeah, there we
But
go.
One more thing. He said one more thing.
thing.
Oh my
There it
goodness. Oh my goodness. Bringing it to you live right here. That's right.
Even
Oh,
though
Make sure you've got your
augmented
captions
reality.
on.
Here it is. I see it. Yeah. So we can
Welcome to
just
our
talk
watch
about
party.
it. Yeah, it's turned into
Yeah.
a watch party, but this
Oh,
is a
it's
big
gonna be
deal.
So stupid.
How do you know?
You can quote me on that.
Excited to announce an entirely new
New
AR
AR
platform
platform.
with
a
a
AR,
revolutionary
okay.
Here it
new
is.
product.
Oh,
and
but it's
here
just
it
a
is.
platform. Oh, with a revolutionary new product. Okay.
Yes.
Here's the
there's the
shade.
outline. I'm going to show it. Don't take me down. Don't take me down.
Oh, okay.
There they are. There they are. Okay. I'm not
like
going to get
VR
taken down
goggles.
by YouTube here. I'll just flash into the screen every once in a while so people can see it.
4
Wow.
cameras. That
Music
thing
note,
is going
music
to
note.
get scratched as hell.
What do you mean?
Well, because there's
Scratched?
giant glass on the front.
It's got a dial.
It's the Apple
God.
Gorilla Glass or whatever they use.
It's
Is
got
it?
a dial like the
Probably.
watch. There's some
Yeah.
very great 3D animation
Well,
going
if
on,
it's
by
very.
the way. Well, if it's very. Look at this very good 3D animation. And I'm back. Only a couple seconds at a time, y'all, so we don't get busted. Well, you can
Oh, it's
see
got a
through
wire.
it. You can see
Oh,
through.
you
We
can
knew.
see
Apple
through it.
Vision
Whoa.
Excuse me.
Well, that's the AR.
That's the
part.
point, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
Seamlessly blending the real world.
Doubt.
Oh, interesting.
Doubt.
He has a dog now.
Yeah, yeah, he's got a dog now. Oh man, look, you can see your apps straight through.
Hmm.
Straight through.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
will
what's the
will
quality
Pixel-
on it?
Yeah, will black pixels actually work on this?
Yeah,
Is it actually,
right?
like true
Right.
color? Is it going to be like where black is just transparent on this?
You
What's
only
the-
use your hands. No
Oh,
controllers.
that's stupid.
No,
I'm out. I'm out.
Why? Oh man, look. Your desktop and everything all around you.
You can't type like this.
There's a keyboard. It showed him
Yeah,
with a
but,
keyboard.
Come on.
Watching
I can't
movies.
even type
Ooh.
correctly on a regular keyboard on my phone.
Oh, thank God, I don't have to
I
buy a
know.
TV now.
I know. I just want to be able to
And it
like.
reflects on the water.
I want an
Awesome.
empty room with all the things in my room, like this woman right here. You know, she's got all the things.
Yeah, just give me a
Um,
bed.
blends digital content into the space around us, so it's AR.
Yeah.
But I want to know, like, do
But
they
you
have
really
stuff?
think people are gonna like walk around with these things on? Ugh,
Not
I
until
hope
they're
not.
more portable. Not until they're more portable and smaller. But you know, the way that it's
Spatial
gonna.
computing.
You know
Yeah.
what it kind of reminds me of? Have you seen like those like the protective goggles that they put on dogs for certain tasks? Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
chasing
yeah.
away geese. It looks like
They're
that.
called doggles.
Doggle.
Doggles. It's called the Vision Pro. That's the name of it.
Pro.
That's interesting. The freedom to imagine, experience anything like we've ever created. It's like all the buzzwords that they always
Right.
do. Fully
Okay, but
three-dimensional
can-
interface.
Can I model on it?
I mean, I'm
Seriously.
sure you can. Like,
Okay.
the question is it completely see through the whole time, or does it like?
Right.
you know?
Right. I don't
Yeah.
know. It says
I mean,
it
'cause
feels
it's like-
truly present in your room. Like, so they must have some good resolution. Because that's my first question.
Yeah.
Do you have to be wired in the whole time? Because a lot of those videos, or like a lot of those videos they showed, were
wired?
wired.
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that's a battery.
It's wired to the battery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, so it's not heavy on your face, because that is my biggest complaint about wearing.
Mhm.
We
any
taking
sort of
bets on how
goggles
much it's
right
going to
now.
cost?
It makes you look
3,000.
like a bug.
$3,000.
It'll be
you think?
$29.99. Yeah, I think so. That's what everybody's been guessing. Yeah, I doubt that they could get this under 2,000.
Sure
Don't
they
you? Or I mean, that would be pretty impressive. I would love that.
could.
You know?
$9.99.
Oh, is that your guess?
That's my guess.
I mean, that would be nice, but I mean,
Here's the thing. $9.99. Like.
are they going to try and compete with
Yeah.
Facebook?
Okay. Look, they're like, okay, that's getting darker, right?
Yeah, the room was getting
But
darker.
does it actually get dark?
Well, I think it could be. You could do it with something in that glass. You could make that glass.
Good old Ted Lasso.
You know, they have that kind of glass that'll get darker when you add an electrical current to it. You know, they have variable like ND filters and stuff. Oh, you can control how immersed you are with the
The
dial.
light just went out.
Oh, did you just turn down your VR goggles?
Yeah.
So you can control how immersed you are with a digital crown.
Yes, but like.
So it goes to full VR with the digital crown. So
Oh.
you blend the real world.
Okay,
however
so if
much
these
you
people
want.
are pushing this so much, why aren't they wearing them?
Because they're doing a presentation.
Let's see the real
So?
demo.
Yeah.
Well, I do hope though that they have.
God, we're gonna see
like-
people
like-
walking out around the streets with these stupid things on their faces.
Yeah, Con says
just-
it looks like more like the HoloLens.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's way too big to wear out in public. It's no different than playing VR with an Oculus. It's just that
Yeah, but like I'm
you've got
telling
the
you,
mixed
like,
reality.
Just give me a controller to use so I can model properly in it. I want to see what modeling is going to be like on that, if it's even going to be on this platform.
But I'm sure you could use a mouse and keyboard with this, right? Like,
Curious if you'll be able to. What if it's going to be like, oh yeah, you can see your desktops, but it's Mac only. You won't be able to see your PC
well,
desktop.
that's my thing. I'm like, well, can
It's
I
like a
use this with
concept-
anything
like a
else?
filter.
on a new computer, and you're like, I won't even be able to use these with my computer.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I wonder what. I'm sure they'll show gaming and stuff on it. You know.
I think they look kind of cool.
I'm waiting for them to show some of that stuff because right now it's just screens.
Yeah.
It's just plain media and screens, and you can do that right now with the Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another foundational design goal, is you're never isolated from people around you. See, what I want to know is, like, if somebody else has one of these, can they sit in the room with you and make it look like they're sitting on the chair or the couch, you know? It displays your eyes?
Ew.
Is it projecting your eyes?
The
Whoa.
eyes through the screen kind of looked
That's creepy.
like fake.
Oh, okay. So it's not see-through.
It's projecting your eyes through a
I
screen?
don't want that.
That is so weird.
Okay. I'm with it now. I got it.
No.
Wait,
Turn
you
it
like
off.
you're into it because of that?
Yeah, dude. Like I was thinking that it was like a like that it was see-through, you know?
I thought it was too. Yeah.
I thought it was see-through.
That's what I'm still not sure. You know,
Huh.
is it or not? Because it seems
No,
like it
it's-
would be better if it were see-through, but are they projecting your entire room back into the display?
I think they're using those cameras and they're projecting it back into your stuff. You know.
So there's just a screen on the front just to display
Yep.
your eyeballs?
Yep, there's a screen just to display. That's why that glass is there.
And that
It's-
adds $2,000 to the price tag.
That adds
Right.
$2,000 to the price tag. Yeah.
That
These
is an
people's
iPhone
eyes are too
on your
big.
face.
You see the guy's eyes? They're slightly
They're
different than where
huge.
they should be.
They don't look right. They look like he has double-sized eyeballs. Everybody's gonna go. I'll just
Okay.
put some googly eyes on
and then
it
there's
instead.
gonna be apps. Then there's gonna be apps that let you change what people see.
Okay, I'll
Right.
get down with
Yeah.
that. I'll get down
Absolutely.
with that. Like my eyes with the like slightly cockeyed or something like that.
Or they look
In
like
red.
It's like you've got a lazy eye.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Or when you shake your head, they just rattle around. They just Google.
Oh man, these are my. I've got Cookie Monster eyes settings on.
Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
But see, I
no.
still haven't seen anything besides just like screens. Where
Yeah,
are
and,
the
like,
apps?
they're
Do all the
showing,
games work
like,
with it?
They're showing. There's no way the quality of what you're seeing is as good as like that background.
That's
you know?
my question. Like,
Yeah.
and that's why I thought that it was actually nice if you could
See through,
like
right?
see through, because then at least that stuff looks real. But I still
What's the resolution on
don't know.
the screen? Like, is it 4K?
Right.
Is it 8K?
Yeah.
Could they
That's
have,
gonna be a question.
see what I wish is that they just had like a higher resolution for the actual thing you're looking at and just get rid of the front screen altogether.
Man.
Right. That front
This
screen thing.
is-
What a waste of.
It's not gonna succeed. It's not gonna succeed.
I just don't
like-
see anything more than what Quest is doing so far, and it's taking them so long.
Right.
It's taken them years to get to this, right?
Oh, there you go. There's your virtual keyboard right there.
I
and
just don't like. But no, I'm not using a virtual keyboard.
No, I like the tactility of like holding onto a tool that I'm using.
Right.
But can you do both?
The
is
little
question.
nubs on the F and J keys. I know where I am at all times.
But if I could have a mouse and keyboard on the desk and be able to see these screens, yeah, absolutely, that would be cool. Because then you could like add extra screens and there you go.
You can use your trackpad.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but only on your Mac, dude. Sorry.
I'm down. Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my God! Can you like use an Apple Pencil to like sketch in VR?
Oh, that would be sweet. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see anything besides these dang screens, though. Oh, they're editing in, whatever their app is that they think people still use.
Powered by the M2 Max.
See, look, they're editing with it. But, like, I don't know. It's just screens. Like, show something else. Like, show some, like...
Yeah.
Show some games. Show people interacting with stuff. They've showed nothing.
I need to see...
Congratulations. You can now check your email in an entirely new way.
That's the thing. If it's just for working, like... It's great when you're traveling. Well, I guess in the hotel you could bring all your screens up. That'd be kind of nice. But
I can't wait to play Fortnite with this.
But on what?
On your new Mac Pro Tower you're getting.
On the Apple Vision Pro.
On the new cheese grater. They haven't really talked about like what it's interfacing with, though. Does it have a whole computer in it?
FaceTime now becomes spatial.
Well, again, it's
okay.
people
They're
floating
not
in
actually
space
in
again.
there. It's just...
We'll see. We'll see.
And
if this is all it is.
What do they show? What are they seeing? Are they just seeing an avatar of the person?
That's a good question. What do they see?
Well,
in that case?
you can see your eyes in the. So they're just like a close up of your eyeballs.
Your eyeballs. Yeah. What are they seeing? That's a good question. Do you set up your phone? I don't really answer that.
Yeah, I'm interested, but I need to see more. Like, I need to actually try it out or something.
Well, while they're getting to something good, why don't we finish up Mograph recommends real quick?
Yeah. Well, I don't recommend this just yet. This is This is TBD.
All right. Well, we'll do a power round on this to get through them. How about that?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Favorite movie.
Favorite movie. I loved Wreck-It Ralph when it came out.
Yeah, it was such a good movie.
Yeah, that I watched that in theaters several times, more than I'd like to admit.
All right.
But
how about what?
I said, did you enjoy the second one?
Oh, the second one.
I liked it. Yeah,
it
was good.
What about favorite music?
Favorite music. I love the city pop, future funk genre. So I listen to a lot of Englewood, Flamingosis, Bureaucratic. Yeah, Englewood's great. Bureaucratic, Funk Mammoth, Brock Berrigan, which I know you're familiar with.
Yes. The intro music to the song. The intro to the show. What about favorite TV show?
Ooh, favorite TV show. Honestly, Ted Lasso right now. It just finished up.
Have you finished it?
Yeah, I thought it.
I finished it last night.
I liked it. I liked it.
It ended
overall.
exactly how I thought it would end.
Yeah.
You know, there were no surprises. There was nothing. It was just, there.
I liked.
Okay.
I was very happy with it.
Guys, this has a 3D camera.
A 3D camera?
It will record videos with a 3D camera and let you watch them back in 3D. That's what it said. Like you're right back in the moment. Now that is something I could,
good. So I have to wear a headset while I'm recording video of my children.
Well, here's the thing. They'll build this into the next iPhone that comes out this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For sure. They'll build it in with the LiDAR and all the things. But yeah, look. He's like, you're going to wear that? Well, okay. But I do like the fact that you can go back and watch it. I'm trying not to show too much on the screen so we don't get taken down.
Yeah.
But
what if you want to like go all the way behind the 3D video? Is it just like stretched?
Yeah, I know.
Like stretched projected textures.
It's a cool concept, you know. But
I
don't
can't
know.
wait to get a LaCroix out the fridge with my Apple Vision Pro.
This was a super cool concept 7 years ago.
Right, but everybody's already doing this. I don't see anything new except maybe that 3D video stuff. But we don't, you know. All right, next one on the list.
So you can now sit in your room by yourself looking like a zombie.
And watching TV.
I do that without a headset.
All right, favorite podcasts besides ours.
The Mograph podcast.
Besides ours,
I doubt that.
I don't listen to it. I don't listen to a ton of podcasts. But when I do, not quoting anyone in particular, I've listened to with my girlfriend. There's a podcast called Trash Taste, which it's a couple of YouTubers who are living in Japan that just, I think if I remember right, the initial concept of it was to talk about anime and stuff like that, but it really just ends up being like a general conversation about life and living in Japan and just like other stuff that's on their mind. So that would be probably the one that I listen to the most right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite plugin, not a render engine.
Favorite plugin. I don't use a ton of plugins, actually.
Well, that's
it's
good.
weird. Yeah.
You don't want to rely too much on plugins.
Well, yeah. My thing with using plugins is I love to use them for my own stuff, but when it comes to actually like using it across a team, and not everyone has the same plugins, then it just gets like confusing and kind of bogs that down. Plugins. There was one that I used. Oh, it's a really simple plugin, but it's one that I used for the Tool Farm commercial that I did with the ball going around.
The Halo level.
Yeah.
I still have to show you that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just called Roll It, I think, and all it is just you put this tag on an object, and as you move it around, it'll do all the calculations for you as far as like having something rolling across.
That's
the ground.
nice. That's really nice.
It was really helpful.
Yeah, that's cool. You can watch 3D movies. You can watch 3D movies like Avatar and stuff on it. That's cool. Because you can never go back and watch 3D movies after they're out of the theater unless you have that setup that nobody has. You know? All right, next one on the list. Favorite app, muscle memory, go-to app. You're on your phone, and
it's probably Instagram, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that's the one I go to the most anyway.
Video game.
Right now, it's gonna be Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If I were to say like favorite of all time, Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. No.
Oh, Bob Iger from Disney's coming on? What?
Talk about 3D movies.
Is Mark Park gonna be there too?
Chris says, "Yo, bro, I heard you like 3D, so I put 3D in your 3D." Disney 100. Is this even about the headset, or is this something different?
I don't know.
They're gonna announce some sort of fun thing. Yeah.
Maybe. Favorite video game of all time though would have to be Paper Mario on the N64.
Nice.
I have a
I'm
lot
a Paper Mario fan.
I had a lot of fond memories of that game. I love the stylistic approach they took with it. I love that it was a Mario game that didn't have just the same toads and like all that kind of stuff. Like it had that, but then it had so many other characters in there that were like different that you wouldn't really see in another game except for like the one that they had on GameCube. But yeah, OG Paper Mario on the N64.
All right.
All-time favorite. Yeah.
And then this is the tough one. This is your favorite life hack. It can be something like goofy or something like serious.
Oh, favorite life hack. So I don't know if I have a favorite one, but the one I did most recently was how to like put picture frames on a wall, especially ones that have like picture frames or shelves. Yeah. So what you do is you put tape on the back, and then you like poke holes where the actual screws will go, and then you put that tape on the wall, so you know exactly how spaced apart they are, and then you can just like do your balancing and measuring from there, and then you just drill straight into the tape and you pull it off when you're done, and then the stuff will hang on there perfectly.
That's a good one. I saw another hack for that at some point, but I don't remember what it was. I don't know.
Gosh, how much money did they have to pay in order to get Disney to get on board with this? You know?
Yeah. Wow, so they're bringing like full-blown experiences, huh?
Yeah.
So,
you know what? They're advertising.
Oh, they're not.
Experiences.
They're showing people playing basketball on your table.
Yeah.
But what's it actually going to take to create these kits, though?
Here is the biggest problem that I have found with some of these tech companies when it comes to VR is that they are going to overpromise and underdeliver. Like, the ideas that, like, these people come up, oh, yeah, this would be so great, but you're not going to get the people, you're not going to get your average person buying this and using it in this way that they're talking about. That right there, that's cool. That's a niche little thing that you could do and enjoy for like 3 seconds.
It's a parlor trick, right?
It's a parlor trick, right?
And it's also depends on like the studios that are like working on this kind of stuff too, like what they're actually going to offer for
100%
these types of experiences.
You think Disney just built out an entire VR section to be able to do all this stuff? No, they just laid off tons and tons of people. You know?
Right, these are just concept videos they're showing, so
it's ridiculous.
Hasn't happened yet.
It's like, okay, cool. Yeah. Now, whatever.
Yeah, I'm unsure.
I could be wrong.
At
Make
this
me
point.
wrong. Prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong.
I hope I am proven wrong because, you know.
We'll see.
Whatever.
Did they do a price point?
Just give me the holodeck.
They haven't done a price point.
They haven't yet.
We can't finish the show until we get a price point.
Okay,
Disney Plus will be available on day 1. Okay.
Day 1.
When I look at Vision Pro,
June next year.
So when I look at the Vision Pro on Google, I get Vision Pros 20% off for new customers. Prescription renewal sale. Contact us.
Oh, somebody's Google food just got ruined.
Yeah.
Somebody's really upset about that right now. All right. I think Tim is back, and he's going to give us a price on this, and then we're going to finish the show.
Vision Pro. Does that mean that there's going to be a Vision just by itself?
There's going to be the Vision. What was the iPhone? What was the cheaper iPhone they called it? Like the iPhone C or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Vision C.
The Vision C.
But it's spelled S-E-E.
Yeah, and like Garrett says here in the chat, if they can't scale down the size, that's the thing. It looks goofy. If we can just get this in regular glasses, absolutely. I'll give them a try. I just don't know if I've seen enough today to buy it. You know, like I kind of want to try it. I kind of want to like put one on and see what the resolution looks like. I mean,
I'm sure you'll be able to go to a store and try it out.
Maybe.
It doesn't really do anything for what I want to do with it right now.
Right.
Unfortunately.
I know. I just
it looks really cool,
expected more. I expected more besides screens.
This is exactly what I expected.
They've just been doing so much in the way of AR in the past with all the games and tabletop stuff.
Kit.
It's like, is that stuff available right away?
That glass in the front is going to get in the way of the if it's going to mess up the sensors, you know, and the cameras and stuff like that.
What do you mean?
Well, say for example, that gets scratched, you know, is that
the sensors are the cameras.
The cameras are at the bottom of the glasses.
At the bottom of the glasses, with glass over it, you accidentally scratch up your stuff. It's going to mess up the depth sensors, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but that could happen on anything, right? Now they're showing how it's made. But like, there's no stats on how heavy it is. There's no stats on how much it costs. Like, that's what I want to see.
They'll just throw it out there right at the end.
Right at the end.
Anyway,
how much
we should just end the show.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd have
and then
a
we'll
price.
Just hang out and watch it.
Let's just do that.
Yeah.
We'll all hang out in the after party of Discord.
After party. All right. Well, let's do that then. We're
David,
gonna get out of here.
Find you?
Oh yeah.
Everywhere on social media, it's Mellor Mograph, Mello Mograph, not Mellow because that's a different person.
Not that guy.
No, not that guy.
I mean, that's an imposter.
He's sus.
He is.
We're gonna get out of here. Make sure you rate us on iTunes. You can review, do a review online, and let people know what you think about the show. Make sure that you say you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt by purchasing the Mograph tee, the Feel the Bab, Paul Babb shirt 2020. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders, the Render Things T-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee, the Mograph Blandishment shirt, and the That Render is Fire shirt, which you're only allowed to wear ironically.
Unless you're shams.
Unless you're shams.
Unless you're shams.
And check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Mograph, mograph.com/live to check out live shows, and mograph.com/TV if you want to watch 24/7 animation and live streams and Mography stuff and stuff about Cinema 4D and talk shows about Mograph and other things. It's not just us, although there is a lot of us. There's other shows on there as well, so check it out. Turn
Also
it on
check out-
with the knob off.
Check out the DAT tour coming to a city near you. Go to
Yes.
dat.com.
Nashville, make sure that you join us. Get your ticket at gotodat.com, GOTODAT.com. Get a ticket, sign up, and come
Supple
see,
woven cable.
Yeah.
watch.
That battery life's like an iPhone.
Come see Andrew Kramer though. Come see Andrew
Yeah.
Kramer, and
Yeah.
wear your
In the
wear your
flesh.
new headset. I'm sure he won't think you're weird at all.
I
some
guarantee you that
3D
this
video.
isn't going to come out until like a couple months.
I would
At
say the
least.
fall. Are they going to give us a... No, they're going to go into the technology. Oh my gosh, the longest. We've done an entire
Even-
show and they're still going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though Andrew's going to be there, I will unfortunately not be there. So there's no need to content fill me away or turn me into a cat or a stack of donuts.
All right, well, we're going to get out of here. I think I said all the things already. So
Here's the display.
Oh, okay, hold on. We got to know the display.
How many Ks?
Everybody's going to know by the time this comes out
Yeah,
anyway, but
I
you
know.
if you
It's a
haven't been
huge
watching,
number of pixels.
that could be a good selling point though. So, yes, you know they have to tell us about it.
Mm-hmm.
64 pixels in the space of a single phone pixel.
A single iPhone pixel.
Wow.
And those iPhone
Ooh.
pixels are pretty tiny.
23 million pixels across
Yeah,
two
but what's
panels.
that? What is that? Across two, or each one?
Across two.
More pixels than a 4K TV for each eye.
Okay.
So how many Ks is it? Is it 8K?
I don't know.
Is it 1 mil?
I mean, technically, it's probably close to 8K, if that's the case. But that might also be the price.
Well, they have that pancake lens technology that was a thing with the Quest Pro.
Yeah. They're not going
Can
to
I
say
see
it.
my reflections on a lake?
They're not gonna say it. They're not gonna say it. So we're gonna get out of here.
All right.
Yeah.
Until next time, I'm Dave.
All
And
right.
I'm Matt.
Have a good
And I'm
one.
Other Dave.
Boy,
See ya.
Dave's ready
Wait.
to get out of here. Later, yo.
Wait, sorry, it's been a while since I've done this show. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Other Dave.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
See.
Wow.
Oh, my bad.
Thank you, Apple. Thank you,
Uh,
Tim Apple.
very
Tim
cool.
Apple. All right, stand by. Should we go back live
So
and just watch this, or what?
When can I rant about?
Yeah, we can go back live. Just go back live. Why not?
Okay, we're back. Who's still hanging out with us? Anyone?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, we're
Seven
back.
people. We got 7 people still around.
After party.
Ooh, look at those X particles.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
made this? One of our friends probably made this.
It's probably the mill.
It's probably a 3D artist.
Main camera.
It was me.
Okay. Side cameras.
LiDAR scanner.
LiDAR scanner.
Okay. Eye tracking system.
Yeah.
IR cameras inside that project invisible light patterns onto the eye for responsive, intuitive input.
Neil's still
I'm-
chilling.
The hands on the Rift Pro or whatever it is, the hand stuff is awful. I don't ever use it. I always turn it off, and I don't.
What'd you
know-
say? The hand tracking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The hand tracking is always awful. Oh my God! Give us a price. We don't care what chip's in it. I'm sure it's an M2. Yeah, it's an M2. Okay, next. Can they not like make this a little bit shorter?
You don't have a slightly shorter short story, do you?
Short shorts.
Can we get the ChatGPT
R1.
version of this?
R1 chip.
Real-time sensor processing chip called the R1. Input from 12
Oh, you got an
cameras.
M2 and an R1. All
You
right.
put them together and it's Mr. 21.
Mr.
I see what you did there.
Eliminates lag. Eight times faster than the blink of an eye. How much does it cost, bro?
I mean, they're just doing all this to try and justify the ridiculous price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
If
they're
it's
gonna
more
tell you
than-
everything.
If it's more than like $2,000,
It'll be 3. It'll be
what's-
$29.99.
I
you
can't
look
get
so
over
What's that
happy to be
face?
wearing
I know.
that.
Creates an authentic representation of you. There is no video conference camera. Wait. What is this? Is this how it shows you? Oh, you use the front sensors
quick
to scan your
enrollment
face?
process, which means we are now going to scan your face.
They already do that.
digital persona. Hmm.
So this is how they do FaceTime.
Oh.
And then they
Okay.
match the movements from the cameras inside to that. That's
Dave.
interesting.
So what if you have like a face altering injury? So you're on FaceTime and someone just sees this, like you normal.
Oh, that's funny. I forgot that I had my Discord on the whole time. Hi, Dryzen. Can you hear me?
Should we just move everything to Discord?
Now we're still live streaming.
Yeah, we are still on live technically.
Mm.
Hey, we're still on. I forgot I had my Discord on still.
That's funny.
I'm gonna go get my
Fine.
lunch. I'll be right
We're doing
back.
our post show, just sitting on the live stream.
Gotcha. I'm gonna hop back on that. I was watching something else.
Your voice is actually on the live stream. Just warning you.
Oh, I can't hear him. It's
Oh,
not
yeah,
coming
you
through
wouldn't,
Skype.
You wouldn't hear
Yeah.
him. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we'll be on Discord in a second, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. That's funny. Where's the dang price?
I know. Give me the price. Give me some sort of compatibility with like all the VR modeling tools that I use right now, and I'll maybe consider it.
Okay. There's nothing else like it except the Oculus.
Do you think they're gonna have the Vision Pro Max?
it's a astronaut helmet, like a fishbowl.
It's the doggles. I'm gonna pull up a picture of those for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about.
We've been preparing for this day for years, and we're really excited about this. They're always really excited about it, though, aren't they? What's the price?
What's the price, bro?
Bro, just get to the price, bro.
Just get the price. Just get the freaking price.
Oh my gosh.
See, like, okay, like, they're showing cool stuff like this now. This needed to be at the beginning.
Now.
Because this is the stuff I want to see. Like, really cool, interactive stuff I can do in my
But-
office. You know, that's actually worth something.
I'm
Like,
telling you, man. They're showing stuff off and saying, this is what's possible, right?
well, that stuff
But-
looked real. But,
I can't wait to build a whole factory in VR in my living room.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid.
This to me is just an iPhone for your head, and like that's great for some folks. But I wanted an actual tool to use like production with.
Right. Hmm.
Maybe they just haven't gotten to that part yet. You know, it is almost 2 hours in.
Yeah, you know, they still have another hour of telling you why it's great. Oh my god.
Those waffle fries look good, Matt.
I wonder if that was Octane.
Is that Chick-fil-A? They're woke.
Those are
They're
some
woke now.
Those are some good looking fries, Matt.
They're
Give
so
me that.
cold.
Give me those fries.
Give me that.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Have you watched the new season?
No, is there a new season?
Yeah, it just
okay.
came out like last week.
Okay, I think I should watch.
Oh my gosh, it is. It's very good.
They've been working with Unity. Hmm. Why aren't they working with Unreal?
Oh.
Hmm.
Not a good bite.
Does he not have his headphones on?
Ooh, me?
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I thought you couldn't hear us.
No, I put on the speakers now.
Hmm.
What'd you ask?
Hmm.
Oh, you looked like you like bit yourself or something. Went off camera.
I did as I was biting my sandwich. Thank you for pointing it out. I was trying to. Part of my mustache got caught in my teeth and was just pulling it really hard.
Oh no.
I've never had that happen before. It really hurt.
When I had a beard a while ago, the worst thing for me was when I would be on my phone, and the little like slot at the top with the speaker would keep catching on the hairs and just like yanking them out and like stinging me basically.
Where's the price? Oh no, let's talk about privacy and security for 10 minutes first. Y'all, we're never gonna get a price. We might as well just go. Alright, I got things to do.
Yep.
Alright.
We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, I'll catch you guys.
We'll stay on Skype, I don't care.
Let's move over to Discord.
Let's do Discord,
Okay.
yeah. All right.
All right.
Catch you guys there.
See ya.
See ya.